So what an amazing day, what an amazing site. One of the challenges you've asked is, how the hell do we use this bit of garden? Well, let's have a look at the bit of garden you've given us to work with at the moment, because it's quite a large area. Frankly, scrubland at the moment. We've got an old greenhouse. We've got the hen coop over here as well. Hasn't been used for a while. And the most critical thing, I think, whenever we're doing this sort of planning is working out how the hell are we going to lay this area out. Now, I'm not a professional gardener, but I do a fair bit of designing of houses and stuff like that. And the first thing is you've got to work out just the form layout. Now, for a garden, you need the sunshine. Sunshine's up there at the moment, which is all very well. But the key point, I suspect, for gardeners is actually where's north, which part of this plot's going to get the most sunshine. And as we stand here at the moment, north is about over there. So therefore, the area of the ground over here is going to get the most sunshine throughout the year as the sun drops down, as the year goes on. But the area over here, this is going to be in darkness, and particularly where the coop is and stuff like that. So all of this, unless we massively clear these trees, and it would be a shame to do that because they're beautiful, this area here is going to be in shade for most of the year. So for me, this is the working part of the garden. So this is where you'd want to have your garden shed. It's where you want to have the composting areas and stuff like that.
2 years of rotting compost. That's going to be brilliant to maybe start the thing off. That's lovely, isn't it?
So it's beautiful compost here. That is, it's got leaves and it feels fantastic. You just have to, I'd like soil type stuff. It feels fantastic. That's going to be part of what we put into the raised beds to get them going. And the critical one is we're going to need a lot of water in this garden, and you've got a lovely big house collecting rainwater. So the challenge is, how do we harvest that rainwater? And the question is, where do we store it? Now, we don't have to store the water in a conventional tanks next to the house. We can use pipe work, run it underground, and then pop it up again. So I think the best place to put those water tanks is going to be somewhere at the back there, going to be elevated, as long as they're higher than the level of the taps, but lower than the access, than the water coming out from the roof. They will fill up. We can get some really big 1,000-litre tanks. That'll provide a lot of water, and that can be fed to taps somewhere in the garden here. What else have we got? Well, the greenhouse. How long have you had this greenhouse?
No, I love this greenhouse.
You and I have talked a bit about this greenhouse.
This is a little bit, there's a bit of history to this.
Yeah.
So I actually love it, okay, because it served me well.
Do you want to open the door just to show just how wild this greenhouse?
Do I have to?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, obviously there's been a bit of disruption in my life, and the greenhouse
excuses, blah, blah, blah.
But then, now show me a greenhouse that looks like that.
I think we need a machete and possibly an anti-tiger.
And insurance.
Yeah. That's going to be ferociously hot if it's only in the sunshine. So I suspect that wants to be a bit further over this way, somewhere in this. We're partially in shade here, partially in sunshine. In the winter, we want to make sure there's still a little bit of sunshine going in there. So it's going to be around here somewhere. There's no point having it out in the garden because you can't use the area behind it. So therefore, it wants to be probably set back a little bit. And then for the majority of the garden, we're going to have raised beds. Why raised beds? Well, we could do it straight into the ground. The trouble is that's back-breaking work. This is a big plot. And ideally, you want to get some of the vegetables away from the slugs, away from the ground. So we're going to do some raised beds. Some sort of tapestry of raised beds around here, probably somewhere in the middle of the plot, have a couple of water access points. And as I say, these will be run from the water tanks that are over there that will be collecting water from the roof up there. So it's going to be a really interesting dynamic project there. And then on the back wall here, this is a lovely sun trap. And this is the ideal place for us to put some of those fruit trees. Not necessarily trees, but we can actually put them onto lattice work. So potentially apples and plums against this back wall.